Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and they say big things come in small packages, and well, that's what we're gonna prove to you guys today.
This is the Chuwi mini PC that actually can game a little bit, potentially. We'll test that here in a minute, but first, a word from today's sponsor. Today's video is brought to you by Teamgroup.
So one of our favorite SSDs from them is the EX2 SSD. They come in up to 2 terabyte storage capacity. They have advanced SLC caching technology and blazing speed and trim optimized performance.
If you're looking for some awesome RAM, then check out their Extreme ARGB RAM. This memory is the industry-leading ARGB memory with a mirror design. It comes up to speeds of 4,000 megahertz and capacities up to 32 gigabytes with an aluminum heatsink in high performance. Teamgroup is also hosting a December event where they're going to be giving away some products, so check the link in the description down below, and special thanks again to Teamgroup for sponsoring today's video. So this mini PC actually caught my eye on Amazon from a company called Chuwi. Basically, when we did a video on the Azul Access 4, which if you haven't seen that video, high in the top right corner, we really liked it for things like GeForce Now and just basic office tasks. But this thing right here has the Iris Pro 6000 graphics, which is slightly better than integrated Intel graphics. And well, it might be able to do some gaming. There's some reviews of people saying that you can play some games at decent frame rates. So we're gonna give that a shot here. But first, let's open this thing up.
All right, so what we have checkmarked on the box is the Intel Core i5-5257U. So I suppose that's a 5th gen processor, 8 gigs of RAM. It does come with Wi-Fi built in, which is nice. You know, for a little over 200 bucks, it really seems like this might be a decent deal if I can get out of the package. All right, we got it out. So yeah, as Matt pointed out, this PC is going to be, it's a CD in there, is going to be a little bit larger than your typical, you know, mini PC. It is still small, and it's portable, it's lightweight. It looks like a power supply, honestly. Like it looks dead up like some type of fancy power. It's actually really cute. It's going to be a little bit larger than your typical. So we have what looks like 2 areas, almost like for fans in a sense. The exact one that we have here is the core box. Insert all of the characters there. It can sit on its back. It can sit on here. Here's the front of it though. So as far as the appearance goes, the front is very normal. I mean, very minimalistic, just has a power button and that's it. So there's no I/O or anything in the front. So if you're one of those people that's constantly connecting and disconnecting things, then this might not be like the greatest option. However, you could just flip it around and you could have all these ports just constantly shown. So we have dual audio jacks. We have an Ethernet port, which is nice. We have what looks like a DV or display port and HDMI. So we have 2 visual out displays, which is nice. You can have dual monitors. We have 2 USB 3s, 2 USB 2s, and then the 12 volt DC power jack. So you don't need one of those giant, you know, standard power supply connectors, which I assume that is going to be in here. And oh my God, what is this? This is interesting. So this is a standard SATA power and data connector that go to a standard SATA data, but then the power one is very unique. So this thing, I guess, maybe is upgradable. So I guess you could add extra storage to it. We have the power supply, which comes with screws, oddly enough. And yeah, here's the other end of the cable. So just this pretty standard power brick. And then that plugs in here. I'm really not sure what the screws are for. They kind of look like they have the thread pitch of hard drive screws. So I'm assuming that might be to be able to add an SSD or a 2.5-inch drive. I don't know if are we gonna open this up?
We can open it. Let's open it.
All right, well, let's open. These are some very security style screws there. All right, let's try to take it apart. Let's see what happens. So opening this thing up, on one side, like I said, we have just standard PH1 Phillips. On the other side, we have some kind of really small Allen head or hex head style screws. So I'm assuming they don't want us to open that end up. Maybe we don't need to. We do have a security seal here, so once you break that, it likely voids your warranty or something along those lines. But yeah, 4 screws to get it open, is what it seems to be. I'm curious to see what type of cooling solution this has and if maybe we can do anything to improve it. It might already be good, but you know, hey, if we can add some thermal paste here and there to get extra performance, why not? Opening it up, look at that. We have an M.2 SSD, which I assume that's what it is. I don't think that's a network card. M.2 SSD. We have a pretty nice looking heatsink with 2 copper heat pipes going up to an actual fan here. That honestly looks pretty good. Here is our SATA connector with the power one. So look at that. This is how you would connect your extra drive. Now, where would you mount the thing is a good question too. So here's actually where you can fit your 2.5-inch drive. This is something that I just totally passed up and I kind of thought about it. So you basically put your drive in, attach your cables like so, and then you just put it back in. So pretty simple to upgrade this thing, and you know, that's nice that you can. Now of course RAM, solder onto the board. Can't really upgrade it to my knowledge. The M.2 you could upgrade. You could just throw in like a 512 or 1 terabyte even M.2 NVMe SSD and have some lightning fast speeds. So why don't we go ahead and turn it on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now that we have this mini PC all set up and explained, let's talk about some benchmarks real quick. And well, honestly, we were incredibly disappointed by the performance of this. I think some of the marketing behind this mini PC is a little bit skewed, considering that they claim that this has Iris Pro graphics in it, which it still says it does, but really those Iris Pro graphics don't really do a whole lot when you're playing games. First up, in Minecraft on low settings 1080p, we have a lot of problems getting over 60 FPS. Well, mainly we're at like 20 FPS most of the time. I tried updating a lot of the drivers to make sure it wasn't a driver issue that's preventing this mini PC from being able to perform, but it does look like this thing is just not designed for gaming, which is okay, but I did pick this up thinking we could do a little bit of gaming on the side, but let's just test another game real quick, and that other game was Valorant, which is known to run on pretty much anything, and well, on 1080p all low settings, it barely got 30 FPS. But 720p is still an option, correct? Well, not really, because when I dropped to 720p in Valorant, we really only gained like 10 FPS, which isn't that much performance. So I think we can comfortably say that this mini PC is not designed for gaming, but considering it does have upgradable storage and it can be used for an office PC, I think it's still a viable option. Now, one thing that does come out as like the glaring better alternative that some of you in the comments are probably going to suggest is the Desk Mini from ASRock. That Desk Mini is designed to take a Ryzen APU, which would definitely crush the graphics, or if you can even call them that, in this little mini PC, and it's upgradable to something like 3rd gen Ryzen or even some of these 4000 series APUs that are floating around on the internet. So with that in mind, if you can actually get your hand on a Desk Mini, that is definitely a way better option. But when I was planning this video, I was trying to find Desk Minis and they are incredibly overpriced. So right now at $300, if you absolutely need a mini PC, a mini workstation for maybe you're doing some VPN stuff for a business and you need a mini PC, or you need something for a local NAS, something like that, for $300 you really cannot complain. This thing is pretty quiet under load and it's well portable. So there's still a market for this thing, but definitely not for gaming. And lastly, when we tested CSGO, we started to realize that it still definitely wasn't for gaming, having really bad trouble getting above 30 FPS. So overall, this mini PC is, well, a mini PC. It is not designed for gaming. We thought it could be good for gaming. It could be good for GeForce Now game streaming, of course, but is that really gaming? That's kind of cheating at this point. Anything can really run on GeForce Now, but that's besides the point. I was still kind of happy with this PC and the form factor and the price we got it at. We're probably going to be using it in our new office very soon as like a little mini workstation for people doing office tasks. So it will definitely get used, but a little bit disappointed in these quote-unquote Iris Pro graphics, and I kind of see why not many people have covered this PC on YouTube. So now that we finished the benchmarking section of today's video, let's bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, so this PC, although it's very well build quality, very snappy internet browsing and other small applications, not so good for gaming.
Now, we could use something like this with GeForce Now like we did with the Access 4, and that would work great for this. But in terms of it having more horsepower for gaming, it's probably on par with the Access 4, maybe a little bit better or maybe a little bit worse. I can't really recall exactly the performance of the Access 4 playing on the integrated graphics, but the Iris Pro graphics are more like just general integrated graphics and really don't give it that much more performance.
One thing that is cool though is the fact that you can upgrade it. You can add an extra M.2, you can add extra 2.5-inch storage. I mean, that's pretty cool. And overall, for this thing having the amount of ports that it does on the back, it does have 2 HDMI. I said display port earlier, I was wrong. 2 HDMI out. It is cool. It is a nice workhorse machine. It would be really good for an office solution, or if you don't have a lot of space in your house, or maybe a secondary PC of some sort. It would be really good for doing any of that stuff.
One alternative that I was gonna do when playing this video is you could buy a Desk Mini bare bones, which work with Ryzen APUs, and that comes in normally around $299 minus the CPU. So that's a good option you can go with. Maybe we'll do a video on that, but those are kind of hard to find right now. But overall, I mean, it's kind of disappointing that it can't really game, but again, it's a mini computer, and the fact that mini PCs have come as far as they have in the past is still pretty impressive.
So if you would like to buy this PC, we'll have links in the description down below. There will be affiliate links and they do help us out. We might have a couple of other alternatives listed down below if we can actually find anything. And overall though, we're honestly pretty happy with it. I mean, $299, you really can't expect a whole lot of game performance in a PC this small. We do have videos on our channel though for around the same price where you can build a gaming PC and actually be able to play some games. So if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
We'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye. Come here, Chewy. Ah! Okay, today we're taking a look at this mini PC that can potentially game, question mark?
I got a better one.
Oh, go for it.
Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and Hey, how's it going guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and they say that small things come in large packages. No, the other way around. Large things come in small, is that how it is? Large things come in small packages?
That doesn't make any sense.
What's the saying?
I don't know. I'm losing the. I don't know the.
You know what I'm talking about,
yes,
though,
I know
right?
what you're saying.
Because look, it says this. I want to be like powerful yet small.
Because large things come in small packages does not make sense.
Big things come in small packages.
There you
it's an
go.
idiom. Okay.
Big things. Okay.
3, 2. Hold on.